Welcome to Petty Sportz Black, where I am HBCU. Brought to you by Kings Broadcasting Studios and Post 880 Radio, the heartbeat of the South. I'm your host, Famous Fees. They call me Facts. On this week's edition of Petty Sportz Black, we've got the head coach to the back-to-back SIAC champion, Albany State Golden Rams, Gabe Giardina. How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing great. Excited to be on the show and excited about talking a little Golden Ram football.
Oh, awesome, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. Like, we definitely could, I love the love from all the HBCU coaches around, especially you being, you guys are sitting right at the top of the conference, so I know everything's riding high out there in Albany right now.
Yeah, well, we special season in 2021, being able to kind of get over the hump and win the conference and be around such a good group of young men and coaches. But it's time to turn the page and get on to 2022 and see what, our team's going to be all about.
All right, that's what's up, man. It's like I'm going to jump into these questions. I'm going to start off and dig in there. I want to pick your brain a little bit, see what you're thinking about out there. And then we'll end it up on a much, much lighter note with a Who You With segment. So then I'll ask you some lighter questions, get you laughing before we get out of here tonight.
Oh, that sounds great. I'm excited to see if I can pass the test here. I'm sure our players will give me some feedback after they hear the podcast.
All right. Hey, it should be good for feedback. Y'all have been doing big things out there. So, man,
Sure.
Since your arrival, and the Golden Rams they've experienced nothing but success. Back-to-back SIAC titles, as we already mentioned. You essentially have owned the conference over the last couple of seasons. How difficult is it for you to stop the guys from feeling like they've already won and keeping them to just stay hungry?
Well, I think every year you get, guys in new roles, and so for us, it's about kind of fostering some new leaders. We had a lot of staff turnover. I probably lost 80% of my staff in the off season.
Wow.
Guys hitting the lottery on me, which is always a good thing. At the same time, great challenge for our players, great challenge for our new coaches to come in and put their own stamp on our program, but also understand that, hey, we got a great culture, we got a great environment, we got a bunch of guys who I think understand what's important to us. And kind of, it's kind of leadership in reverse. Our players this spring and this summer have kind of brought some of our coaches along. And so it's exciting for me as a leader to see, because I think that's really where we want to be as a program, is being player led. At the same time, I just walk around with a big axe all the time, just trying to slay complacency in our program and say, hey, we got to be the best at getting better. And maybe we improved, 30% last year. All you have left to max out your potential is that last 10%. But what are you going to do to get there and to keep getting better? And, the day that you think you've arrived is the day that you start descending and going downhill. And shoot, there's a lot of good teams in the SIAC. There's a lot of good teams on our schedule. And so, we're excited about the opportunity that we have to try to just, go take it one game at a time. And that's how, we just kind of approach things and say, we want to go 1-0 every week. And we want to maximize that week and everything that we do. And I want our players to continue to get better. I don't care. I told them this spring, I said, every job is open. Starting quarterback, left tackle, those guys are both returning starters. Doesn't matter. Hey, if the guy behind you beats you out, then it's his job. And so, you keep guys, kind of striving to get better, striving to compete, and having a great desire to want to win.
Okay, I like that. 1-0 every week. Like, that sounds very Belichickian.
Well, all good ideas from me are stolen. So, I just don't, have as hard a time turning my work in because I don't have to cite it as closely as our players do their English papers. So it's it's just what we do, and our players believe in it. It's exciting for me to hear them say those things back to me. I don't have to prompt them as much anymore. I still got to prompt them on a lot of things, but every once in a while they'll come out with the gem, and I'm like, see, that's it right there. That's what we're trying to do.
Okay. I mean, I know that's difficult to sustain greatness. You get a team there, it's like they feel like they've made it, and then they fall off because they just feel like they're there. So I know that's a everyday battle.
Absolutely.
Awesome, man. So, I mean, having you played at the University of Alabama and you also coached there. So what was the appeal for you to take the Albany State position in 2017 and join a very tight-knit HBCU family?
Well, I think, as you're looking at your career, and at the time I was an FCS assistant. I was an offensive coordinator. We had a really good run at Charleston Southern at the time. I haven't coached at Alabama in so long. I still know the mascot and the fight song, but I don't know where all they built so many doggone buildings over there. I don't know if I'd recognize them. You're wanting, as a young or as an assistant that was trying to become a head coach, I was just looking at the DNA of the place, and Albany State has always won. They had won 15 conference championships at the time that I took the job. They're top 5 in the country, and we still are in attendance. So I wanted to be somewhere that was a head job, not a dead job.
Okay.
And I really felt like we could win. I felt like South Georgia is a great and fertile recruiting ground. And for me and my family, we got a little closer to home, for my wife, that is. And so for us, it was just a no-brainer to be a part of something that you're exactly right. It's such a tight-knit HBCU family. And it was just really apparent on the interview process that how important football was, but how important character development was, and how, we all the things that I thought were important beyond the field were really important to our AD and our president at the time, and have been and remained important to President Federick, who I work for now, and to Tony Duckworth, our new AD. And so it was just a real natural, easy fit for me. And it's been exciting to kind of write our own chapter as opposed to having to rewrite the whole story.
Okay, I mean it's definitely a plus to be able to get closer to family. What how close is your wife from there?
So we're 3 hours. She's from South Alabama.
Okay.
She's from Greenville, and that's about that's a good interstate stop. Not a whole lot more going on in the town. So Albany is like a booming metropolis compared to Greenville, Alabama. But I see a lot of my mother-in-law, and that's a good thing. We have a great relationship, and she gets to come over and tailgate and barbecue and root for the Golden Rams, and so it's a unique situation.
That's always a good thing. I don't know where the narrative started that you're not supposed to have a good relationship with the mother-in-law. It's like that's out the window. That's not how life works anymore.
Absolutely, I love mine.
Hey, I definitely feel the same way about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, with all the recent attention to HBCUs being mainly going to Jackson State, Tennessee State, and Grambling as the major programs that are really getting a lot of attention, have you and the AD considered scheduling one of these programs in the near future just to showcase the dominance that you guys have had to really put you on the national forefront?
Well, I when you sent me the questions, I was so excited to see this question. Okay, I was fired up. So 2 things. We're getting to play FAMU week 2 this year. I've got a lot of respect for Coach Simmons and the things he's done there. I've gotten to work with him last spring when we coached the HBCU Legacy Bowl down in New Orleans with Doug Williams and Shaq Harris and that whole crew. And so here was my mission, okay, because I really feel like FAMU has such a powerful brand also within the HBCUs and just the success they've had since Coach Simmons is there. But I have literally I've talked to 3 different Jackson State assistants, okay? I am
Okay.
trying to play D. I have tried to reach out to the AD. I have, I mean, I guess maybe I should just tweet right at him. I would love to play Jackson State. I think it'd be a win-win for both of us, because obviously I think we've been good. They've been very good. I think part of Coach Prime's initiative or things that I've seen him do is to uplift other HBCUs. And I think they could shine a beautiful light on what Albany State is and what we're doing. And I think financially it would help us tremendously. I want them to, the guys I've talked to, I said, hey, will you please pay us the biggest guarantee that's ever been paid that was a non-classic? Because that's newsworthy. It's philanthropy. It's a great, it's just a win-win. And so I really enjoyed coaching some of the Jackson State guys in that Legacy Bowl, and just think the world of what Coach Prime is doing, and deservedly so. So, if you can get me another hit, on that staff, that, hey, look, I will call anybody. So absolutely would love to do that. Would love to play Tennessee State, Grambling, whomever. I think it would just be an amazing thing for us and our program.
Okay, we got to start the campaign. Coach Prime.
Come on.
Albany
beat
State.
The drum. Beat the drum.
We need Albany versus Jackson. That's what it is.
Come on, let's do it. In Jackson. In the big Memorial Stadium. You know what I'm saying? That place is beautiful. Let's pack it out.
Oh, yeah, put it on prime time. Let's do it.
That's right. That's right.
So what's been your favorite part of the HBCU experience since you've made your way out to Albany?
I think a lot of people talk about family, and I think that's kind of a good, it's kind of makes them feel good, or it's a buzzword, or, oh yeah, we're all about family. But I can really see, ever since I've been here in this community, we call it the Ramley here, and it really has. I mean, just the environment that people have come and gotten to know me, accepted me, the amount of the alums that I'm able to just call and talk and kind of just do life with has been amazing. And so that's the thing. And it's really the whole package. It's from small classroom sizes to professors that will go the extra mile to help our student athletes, to having a great band and a band that is worth watching, and passionate, and the cheerleaders that are just the whole Albany State community coming behind what it is to be a Golden Ram, and the pageantry behind the game, and just what homecoming means. And those are all things that I was, walked in kind of naively about it, and I've kind of learned on the job. But I just, I can't say enough about the folks and the alums and the people that just have embraced my family, my kids. I got an 11, a 9, and a 7-year-old that have literally grown up, before our eyes here over the last 5 years. And we just got a lot of people loving on us. And that's really what's made it special, is the Ramley. And that's been from our president, President Federick, on down. I mean, it's not just a buzzword here. It's a genuine article.
I like it, man. That sounds like my college experience at Savannah. Like it's like that at pretty much all the HBCUs. We all come at each other, but let somebody else say something about it. We defend each one of them like we went to all of them.
You're 100% correct. I mean, I know we want to go out there and we want to, win every game and everything like that. But just the camaraderie beyond the field has been amazing to me, from the coaches to alums to, hey, yeah, I'm a Savannah grad, or hey, I'm a Fort Valley grad, or I'm a Clark grad. There's a uniqueness there, and I guess it's from a similarity of experiences within HBCUs that just you just don't get at a lot of places.
Okay, so now we're gonna switch gears just a little bit. Now, I'm a high-level high school prospect that you're looking to get to come to Albany. What are you telling me and my parents as you sit in my living room to sell me on being a Ram next season?
Well, I'm going to talk a lot about that family atmosphere and environment. I'm going to talk a lot about the success that we've had on the field, and that winning sure makes, your college experience a whole lot more fun.
Right.
But then I'm obviously going to talk about the character things that we try to do within our program. We kind of have a phrase within our program. We call it chasing the crown. And what that means is it's a Bible verse out of 2 Timothy 4. And it's Paul talking. He talks about at the end of his life, he's going to be poured out like a drink offering, which means he's just going to basically be spent. Okay. And that when he goes to heaven, he's not going to receive a ring. In football, we're obsessed with winning championship rings. But he's not going to get a ring when he goes to heaven. He's going to receive a crown when he goes to heaven. And that's what we really try to talk to our players about is, hey, don't be obsessed with the ring or the championship or the short-term successes. Let's be concerned with long-term character development about, being a game changer in your community. Let's be excited that you live in, Albany or Camilla or doggone Leesburg or Atlanta, Georgia or Macon. And when people come up to you and ask you, hey, why do you act that way? Well, it's because I had coaches who loved me and I had coaches who were genuinely trying to chase righteousness and not just, things of the world. And so we try to, we tell them, hey, we want to get to your heart. And we want to coach your heart first. If I can get your heart, then I can get the body and you'll play hard and you'll run through that wall. In fact, you'll run through it over and over and over and over again. And when you got a bunch of guys like that are really close knit, that's when you got a special team. When coaches always talk after the game, the two phrases that I think are the most that someone could say to me that give me the most admiration for our team is that, hey, look, your guys played unbelievably hard and your kids are really well coached. And that just shows the culture that we have. That shows the job that our coaches are doing. And I think it's infectious. And I say, just come on campus, be around our players. Don't take it from me. I'm not a used car salesman. I try to talk slow and I just try to be real intentional. And I say, just come talk to our players. Let them tell you the truth. They'll tell you about old Coach G over here and his dad swag, and that's kind of how we do it. But it's not rocket science, but we try to follow it up by really living that way and coaching that way.
Hey, am I getting a full ride?
Well, yeah, everybody, everybody's, on a package deal here. It's like the NFL. Okay. So, and I know that, hey, money doesn't talk. It screams in a really loud voice. That's what my wife tells me all the time. So
it absolutely does.
Absolutely.
So, man, this is my last question before I jump into the Who You With segment. So now, how pivotal a role has your athletic director, Tony Duckworth, played in the continued success of your program and the growth?
Well, I think he's really done a good job. I think Cherie Gordon had hired me, did an amazing job of just kind of setting the culture and making things around the kids and really doing a good job with student athlete experience. And Tony has just enhanced it even, I think, to another level. I mean, he's a former coach. He's been in the trenches. He understands what you're, kind of going through on a daily basis. He stays out of your way when he needs to stay out of your way. But he also really kind of picks some really good battles to go fight for you. And so it's really been good, for me to work for someone like that. And I even call Coach Duckworth sometimes and say, hey, look, like I don't need an administrator's opinion here. I need a former coach's experience and opinion here. And so it's just nice for a guy that needs some opinions from outside the office sometimes to be able to go to someone like that that's kind of been there and been in those tough calls, see this player discipline or, budgeting or just something, staff, chemistry issues or something to say, hey, look, Tony, can you help me with this? What do you think? And I know his advice doesn't come from a place where there's an agenda other than, what's best for Albany State and what's best for Golden Ram football and what's best for Gabe Giardina. And so I just, think the world of Coach and what he's done here in a short period of time.
Okay. No Jerry Jones action. He actually is a resource.
No, He's not coming around watching recruiting tape. If he wanted to, we'd let him, though. You know, he is the boss. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hey, it sounds like a great relationship. And I'm all the way here for it. We can see it in the results of the program. Like, Albany's been killing.
Well, it's the byproduct of having a bunch of good players that play really hard and some administrators that really have let us put a lot of gasoline in our tank and get the right players and be able to afford them. You know, that's important.
Oh, absolutely. So, like, now we're going to move into the fun part of this thing. It's called Who You With. I got 5 questions for you. Got to take one side or the other. You better get the questions right.
Here we go.
All right, so your first one, which one are you ordering? Taking a Philly cheesesteak or a shrimp po' boy?
Oh, Philly cheesesteak all the way. I grew up in central Pennsylvania. Been to Pat's, been to some of Geno's in Philly. I mean, you ain't had a cheesesteak if you hadn't had one from there. That just hold the doggone green peppers, though. You know those. If you get too many green peppers on there, I'm gonna be like, hey man, you know we gotta send that back.
Yeah, I gotta taste the steak. I mean, I had a salmon Philly today. It was actually pretty amazing. Didn't even know this existed. Fancy right there. Yeah, but I had to ride with you on that one. I'll take the Philly, but the shrimp po' boy is a very, very close second. If you put crawfish in it, then I might sell you out.
Yeah, I'm not going to turn either one down. So.
Oh, absolutely not. Span, we'll jump back into the NFL on this one. Who is the better offensive guru, Sean McVay or Andy Reid?
Oh gosh, I love Andy Reid. I just think he's so smart, so brilliant, coached for such a long time. The sample size is just bigger for Andy Reid, right?
Yeah.
So, and I love, I try to wear a Hawaiian shirt every Friday for like the last 6 months. So when Andy busts out that Hawaiian shirt on these interviews and things, I just feel like it's a kindred spirit there. But just the creativity, that's one of the things that we try to foster within our program is, hey, offensively, defensively, let's be creative. Let's not, just shut down people's ideas. And the way Andy is so creative, I just, it's mind-boggling to me.
Okay, I can't argue with that. Both have won Super Bowl, and Andy does have that huge sample size of what he did in Philly before he even got out there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It goes back to it's going back to the cheesesteak. He's probably a cheesesteak guy, right?
I think Andy eats everything.
That's true. They say he's got the best cafeteria in the NFL, so.
I can believe that. Man, we'll move to the hardwood on this one. Which was the bigger NBA disaster last season? The Lakers with the whole Westbrook and all of these old aging stars, or the Brooklyn Nets? My fault, I almost called them Jersey.
The Lakers tried that once before, right? With Karl Malone, Gary Payton, and
2004.
That whole crew. It didn't work 25 years ago, and it didn't work this year, right? Basketball is such football is the same way, I guess, but the chemistry's got to be right, and they just never had the chemistry, with that, with ball movement, wasn't didn't look like a big thing there. Looked like a bunch of stall ball. Not that I watch tons of NBA. I don't watch nearly as much as I used to, but I'm going to go with the Lakers, for the bigger, whatever you call it, dumpster fire or whatever. And they should know better. It didn't work the first time.
Yeah, they didn't even make the playoffs. At least the 2004 team went to the finals. They got right to the doorstep. This team had no games in the playoffs.
There you go.
All right, so here's a big one in the recent news. Which was a bigger move, USC and UCLA to the Big Ten or Oklahoma and Texas to the SEC?
Oh, I think the first one. I think Texas and Oklahoma, just because it was first. I think that's what set this whole mega conference ball in motion. And I don't think we're done. I have no insider information or anything like that. I just think there's going to be a couple more moves here, and college football is radically changing. almost weekly here with conference realignment and transfer portal and NIL. And so, but yeah, everything's bigger in Texas, I guess. So, I guess that move is the bigger move in my mind.
Yeah, but I'm going to take the Cali teams moving to the Big Ten because I'm a SC fan.
There you go.
It's very
I just
biased.
When the I don't even know what it is when the SC when the Southern Cal tennis team has to go to Piscataway, New Jersey to play Rutgers on a Wednesday, go 3 time zones. Are they taking the professors with them, or and it's like we're leaving beautiful sunny California to go to Jersey over here, and it's I don't know if anybody's gonna be excited about that road trip.
The trip is long. I don't think the weather will be as bad for those teams as people think. I mean, they do go to Oregon and Washington on a regular. They play out in Utah, Colorado. All their games are not in California.
That's true.
Yeah, they play in some cold places.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Last one before we get out of here. Should be an easy one, but being as where you're from, I think you're going to pick the wrong answer. But I got faith in you. Dunkin' or Starbucks?
Oh gosh, my wife would say Starbucks because she likes a latte with, some kind of whip frap, skinny something on there,
Oh yeah.
If we're just going straight up basic, fundamentally sound like coffee, I'm picking Dunkin'. And that's my opinion. If we're going some kind of double shot, then I would go Starbucks. But if it's how many times do I drink that? I'm drinking 90% of the time just fundamental black coffee. And part of the reason I'm picking Dunkin' is it's on the way to work. So it's probably more convenience than anything. But America runs on Dunkin', and so does Coach G right now. So there you go.
Starbucks was the correct answer. Your wife knew.
She hasn't been wrong in 17 years. So she's gonna be right on who you're with too.
Yep. See, I got the remedy for you. I grind it and brew it every morning before I leave the house.
Oh wow! So you're this is home coffee here. This is you got an espresso machine?
No espresso machine, but I do have the espresso beans, and I grind them fresh every morning.
Wow. So my wife is on the French press right now. She's French. She's on the French. So I mean, I feel like that really enhances the level of any coffee.
It does. I don't have that kind of patience.
You get the French press with the fresh grind. I think you're going to be, you're really going to have something there.
Oh yeah, definitely. So man, I appreciate you coming out for the interview today, man. Great interview. You got most of your questions right. Starbucks is better than Dunkin', though, so we got to make sure that you know that. But I know your wife will agree with me. I've turned my wife into a Starbucks fan. There's still time for you.
Hey, I got time. Well, I really appreciate you having me on. It's been a pleasure. It's been fun. These are always, you hope every interaction that you get to have with folks is fun and exciting. You get to laugh a little bit, so I really appreciate it. And best of luck with the show. And go Golden Rams.
Hey, I appreciate that. Y'all heard Coach G. Let's get this Albany State versus Jackson State game trending. Hashtag it. Send it to everybody. We need to see the champions of the SIAC play the SWAC beasts over there. It's got to happen.
Oh, come on. Let's do it. Be fun.
Absolutely. Coach Prime, book that. That's what we want to see.
Absolutely. All
right. So is there anything you want to just leave anyone with before you get out? Let them know how to follow you, where they can see your games.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can follow me at Gabe Giardina on Twitter, or at ASU football. We try to do a good job being relevant on social media. You can access our schedule at ASUGoldenRams.com. And hey, look, come check us out. We got a bunch of really good players. Reigning Conference Defensive Player of the Year, Stephon Pierre, coming back. We're the number one defense in the country last year in all of college football. We gave up 6.3 points a game, which means you only got to score once to win. We had 7 defensive shutouts. I mean, it was really a neat year. We know that's all behind us, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention it just because I want people to know how great our program is and what we're doing here. And even academically, I got 10 guys in grad school this fall that are not just graduated, but are getting their master's degree. So, hey, this is way more than just about ball at Albany State. It's about, character development and building young men and seeing guys make a future for themselves that they couldn't have done had they not been in our program.
Okay, y'all heard it. You know how to find them. You know what they did. Albany State is all the way here. We're going to see the Albany State-Jackson State matchup happen in the very near future. That's what's up. We appreciate you coming on, Coach. Petty Sportz Black will definitely be attending some of your games this season, so definitely look out for us. We'll reach out to you when we come out there.
Absolutely. Thanks. We do it anytime. We'll get you the backstage passes, as we like to say.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm looking for that.
Absolutely. All right.
All right, y'all. So, hey, that was Coach G, Albany State University. Excellent interview. Make sure y'all keep tuning in to Petty Sportz Black. We're giving you all the head coaches, all the HBCU conferences. Next, y'all just stay tuned for it. I'm not even going to tell you who it is. I'm going to just keep dropping them on you back to back. And make sure every single week, y'all keep this thing petty.